What's up, everyone? It's Davin here from Alpha Cybersecurity, and I'm here today to announce the new InfoSec Unplugged channel here on YouTube. Now, for those of you who are new, InfoSec Unplugged is my award-winning weekly live stream podcast, where I interview professionals and go beyond the technical aspects of the tech and cybersecurity field. Together, we delve into the people side of things, exploring their career journeys, the latest trends in tech, and most importantly, their why. The motivations and passions that drive them in their work. And we do this live with our audience that we call the Pack. Now, for the Pack members, don't worry, I'm not stopping the live show. I repeat, I am not stopping the live show. The live show will still happen every week on the Alpha Cybersecurity channel. And the live show is great, and I love y'all for the support. But it's what happens after the live show that I'm worried about. You see, YouTube does something weird with the algorithm, and it doesn't really pick up on the replays of live streams. So what we decided we're going to do here is, after every live episode, we're going to take it, edit it down, and repurpose it as a podcast. This way, no one will miss out on the amazing guests and the amazing information that they're sharing. Not only will you get their unique and personal perspectives on the industry, they'll also offer valuable insights into the challenges and opportunities in the field. And as an added bonus, you're going to get some behind the scenes footage and some things that you may not have seen on the live stream over here as well. So make sure to catch us live and join the Pack on Thursdays on the Alpha Cybersecurity channel. And then make sure you subscribe here to get the behind the scenes stuff and the podcast on the new InfoSec Unplugged YouTube channel. So y'all take care, and I'll see you Thursday. I needed that for myself. I'm going to do that too. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody watching, welcome back to InfoSec Unplugged. Thank you for joining. I am your host and absent host, Davin Jackson. Sorry, is it crazy that I'm nervous all over again? But thank you for joining. If you don't know, InfoSec Unplugged is my weekly live stream podcast series where I interview different people all over the field, talk about the highs, the lows, their ups and downs, and also share their advice that they would give to the crowd, the chat, or also known as the Pack. I will be your host and guest this week because I wanted to, get some things off my chest. I feel like, y'all have been rocking with me now for about a little over 2 years now. And I think I owe you an explanation as to why I've been gone for 9 months and what's been going on. I haven't just been sitting here, just twiddling my thumbs every Thursday. So we're going to get into the great side of it, the bad side, some of the ugly. And then I'm also going to have some truths that I came up with, or realizations that I came up with during this time off. So before I even get into any of it, I want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you to all of you. I'm going to give y'all a round of applause for y'all for rocking with me, for checking in, checking me, at times, make sure everything was okay. Trying to see when the show was coming back and everything. And like I said, I wasn't completely gone. Obviously, I hosted another show last year. So I was doing that. And then there were a couple other things that I was working on. And we're going to get into all of that. But like I said, welcome back. And I guess we'll just jump right into it. So let's see. First, I just want to make sure we're going to go into the chat, make sure everybody is here. All right. Thank you. Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining. If you're a little late, I just announced that we have a new YouTube channel, which will be the InfoSec Unplugged YouTube channel. That will be where the back catalog and the edits of these new episodes will sit over there now. After doing some studying and researching, YouTube does not like live streamed replays. So to get that exposure and get the algorithm pumping the right way, we're going to go ahead and repurpose these live streams and move them over to the InfoSec Unplugged YouTube channel. So please make sure to go over there, like, comment, subscribe, everything that you do here. And like I said in the video, the live stream will still be on the Alpha Cybersecurity channel because, you know, we already established that connection. So I'm not going to mess that up. So I titled this episode Reevaluating Your Why. And that's really what I've been doing these last 9 months now. You know, a lot has happened. A lot has gone on. Like I said, I was hosting another show. I was hosting Hacker Valley Blue. Shout out to Chris and Ron and the Hacker Valley family. I worked with LinkedIn on creating a course. I started teaching workshops. So there was a lot going on. And it made me realize a few things. Again, good, bad, and ugly. So story time, I guess. The first question everybody's asked is, where have I been? So, geez, where to start? Let's start with 2022. You know, I started the year off strong. I kicked in the new year with InfoSec Unplugged, with Dewan Lightfoot, and just rocked out with so many great guests after that. Eric Bellardo, David Kennedy, Marcus Bowie from Max Prod Technologies, Henri Davis, Textual Chatter. I see you in here. Thank you for the love, my brother. Alyssa Knight, McKenna Yakey, Charles Shearer, the BSD Bandit, I think I said Dave Kennedy already, Stephen Hart, Tish Harper. And then, of course, we had the Chasing the Bag panel with some amazing guests there, too. I don't want to list. I'm not disrespecting anybody if I'm leaving out any names. I just want to make sure I get through the talking points. And then, like I said, I also hosted the first season of Hacker Valley Blue around that time as well. And that was super successful. Heard in 32 countries, top 15 podcasts on Spotify for the cybersecurity subsection. So it was really great doing all of that. Blacks in Cybersecurity nominated me, and I won the award for Content Creator of the Year. I also was nominated for an award with the Women's Society of Cyberjutsu. And like I said, things were just going smoothly. Like I said, I had my first paid speaking engagement. And then I guess I just kind of disappeared. So you would wonder, you know, when everything is going so well, why would you just up and leave? Well, first, and I'm going to actually call it the great, the bad, and the ugly, because it wasn't all bad. First and foremost, it was around this time, it was summer. I took a trip to St. Lucia, and I got to be lucky enough to renew my vows with my lovely wife and my children and my family and friends there. So we celebrated our 10-year anniversary. So we're going to go ahead and clap that up. If she is watching, Mrs. Jackson, I know you are deep in your cakes, but I love you very much. Like I said, that was definitely a highlight. Got to surprise our son and take him on his dream trip to Jamaica for his 13th birthday. If he's watching, I love you too. And I know my daughter's in here because I saw her. And of course, you know, I love you as well. So, you know, it was a really great time for that. Also, I worked on the advisory board for a SANS conference. I got to follow one of the goals that I set out for myself and started teaching workshops. I taught an API hacking workshop with the Women's Society of Cyberjutsu that I think went very well. The feedback I got was okay. I know I was beating myself up on some of the technical difficulties that we were having, but it was really great to actually get back to doing that. I taught a workshop right before COVID, and I said, you know, that's the next phase of my career that I wanted to go to. So, you know, to have that opportunity and to kind of work on my craft, that was great. Did a couple other workshops, did a couple more things around teaching and training. I linked up with LinkedIn and created an OWASP API security course, which is actually out now. I'll actually put that here. I shouldn't even put it here. I should put it actually in the chat. See, I'm a little out of practice, y'all. But yeah, like I said, you know, put out a LinkedIn course for the OWASP API Top 10. That's doing very well. Like I said, that took a lot of time. I actually, I guess underestimated what it takes to actually do that, go through that whole process of creating a whole, I guess, professional course. So, there was a lot of, trials and tribulations with getting the scripts and getting everything ready and meeting deadlines and stuff like that. And then I also landed a new job. That was a great thing. It's also partly one of the issues I had on the bad side, not them, but the previous job. And then, like I said, it was just things just kept going greatly. I mean, we ended the year with a nomination for the Sands Difference Maker Awards for podcast or live stream of the year. And honestly, at that time, I just wasn't sure if I was ready to come back. I had just finished season 2 of Hacker Valley Blue. And again, I noticed him earlier. I mentioned him earlier, but I started paying attention to some other podcasts that were out there. Textual Chatter is definitely one of them. He's killing it. If you haven't seen his podcast or listened to it or seen the video version of it, I highly recommend that. He's been doing a great job. Cyrus over at Tech is the New Black. He's been killing it. It almost seems like he just blew up, like especially over the summer. And it was just I felt really good about where it was going. And if I'm gonna be 100% honest, I knew I needed to do some things to take InfoSec Unplugged to the next level. And I wasn't sure if I was just ready or prepared, or if I actually had the time to invest to fix some of those. When InfoSec Unplugged launched, I know my brother Ty Wilson's in here. It was literally just a live stream with just me and him just ranting. And, and then it turned into what you see now. But, for it to really be a viable, I treat it like a startup so when you have a startup company, you're just pushing whatever can get out there and whatever works. And then once you realize you're pushing the minimal viable product, and then when you realize that you actually have something, then it's like, okay, let's go get the bugs out and let's go fix some things. And that's where I was with InfoSec Unplugged. It was, do I have the time with moving into the teaching stuff and landing a new job and trying to really work on my work-life balance? Was I prepared for that? And then we got into the bad. So I'm still out of practice. So we had the great, right? That's what I was talking about with the great. So everything that I just mentioned earlier. And now we're going to move into the bad. The bad are certain things that we've all kind of dealt with, burnout. So obviously, working hard and landing a new job, trying to get acclimated in the new role. But there were some issues lingering from the old job. I will say that it was a cryptocurrency company, and dealing with all of that nonsense as well. It got to be a little bit stressful, got to really wear me down. And I took some time in between jobs before I started a new one, but I probably didn't take enough time now that I sit back and think about it. But we have bills to pay, right? We have things to do. So so it was kind of just like keep trucking along. But trying to get acclimated in a new role and taking on things and responsibilities that I wasn't quite accustomed to, or things that I may have underestimated, led to I guess the first of many burnouts during that time period. So so you're dealing with the burnout. Luckily enough, I went on vacation shortly after that, and like I said, got to recharge my batteries for a little bit and came back and just tried to jump right back into things. I came back from vacation and started already with the prepping for the next season of Hacker Valley Blue, and then still working and doing a couple things and working on the LinkedIn course, and burned myself out again. Tried to take a little bit of time off, got got back into the swing of things, really started to hit my stride around the fall. Then like, I think, was it like the week of Thanksgiving, I got sick and I was actually supposed to fly out the following week to go to California to record the LinkedIn course. But because I got sick, I ended up quarantining in my guest room, and I just grabbed all my recording equipment and recorded the LinkedIn course from that bedroom. So, that time really kicked my behind, working, catching up, burning yourself out, working, catching up, burning yourself out. And again, like I said, that also led to it. Like, okay, I'm not mentally or physically prepared to get back into the live stream podcast area, which is something that I actually learned during the course of recording Hacker Valley. It's similar and it's different at the same damn time. So, with a podcast, you can record, mess up, re-record, send it off to production, and they put it out, and it gets released on a certain date. When you're live, you're kind of doing all of that at once. And I didn't realize how much, I knew it was harder, but I didn't realize how much harder it was to do this. And I've had people come and ask me, well, why don't you just do that with InfoSec Unplugged? And the reason why I'll never do that is because of you guys, because of everyone. Let's try to make sure we're all inclusive here. But because of you, the whole purpose of the show, that to me, that makes it what it is that interaction that I have with the pack, and the interaction that my guest also has with the pack. Without that, we're, no disrespect to anybody, but we're just like every other podcast out there. And I wanted to do something that would make it beneficial for all parties involved, right? I want something that the guest can learn from, or the guest can come and have a platform to share their experiences or share whatever it is they're working on, vent if they need to. I learn things as a host from speaking to these guests, and then the pack and the group, the audience also benefits, because now not only do they get to have these interviews or see these interviews, they also get to interact with it. So that's why I'll never cancel the live aspect of it. Instead, I will make this and repackage it and put it out as its own podcast, so that this way everyone will be able to get a chance to see it. Because one of the things that I heard a lot was they didn't even know I had a show, because they're maybe not available on Thursdays, and it's hard to look for on YouTube. Actually, I'm not going to say apparently, it is. I've tried it myself. So we're going to try to fix that. And then again, I love y'all. I love y'all seriously. And then, like I said, and then we hit, so we had the LinkedIn course, and then the week after that, I had to fly out for work, and I stayed out there for a week, and then I was home for 2 days, and then we flew out to Washington, D.C. for the SANS Awards, which unfortunately we did not win, but I'm not disappointed. I'm not angry. I'm not upset. Actually, the winners are some great people. Ashish Rajan with the Cloud podcast, his Cloud Security podcast is an amazing podcast. It's international, for crying out loud. So, shout out to him. Andy Ellis is a well-known name practically in this field and in the SANS community, and he won the SANS Committee Award. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not down on the fact that I lost. I'm actually grateful and blessed just to be nominated and actually be a finalist. Little old me, literally against some of the biggest names in podcasting. Two of them are basically a SANS affiliated podcast. So I can't complain about that. I don't know if he is here or if he's listening or if he will hear this, but shout out to Bryson Bort from Scythe and Keenan Skelly. They were there and they were sitting at the table with us, and they definitely made the night entertaining. It was great just to kind of have them there and have that support there alongside my wife again, who's just kind of been my rock through this whole thing. Honestly, this show doesn't happen if it's not for her, putting her foot in my back and getting me into tech in the first place, and then keep telling me to, work on my dreams. So shout out to her again. So where are we? Yes. The ugly. So one thing that I did realize, especially during the time of the award ceremonies and getting nominated and everything, is that people really live for the likes and live for the views and live for the attention that they think they get from this show. One of the things that I got a lot was a lot of hate and a lot of negativity. And don't get me wrong, I get it all the time. And you know me, I'm always for the smoke. I don't back down from it. I mean, even with some of the guests I have, there's a lot of stuff that goes on in the comments and stuff like that you don't see, that I work on and make sure I try to delete before it even gets out there. But this time around, it just, I don't know, maybe because with everything that was going on and being sick and stuff, you start to hear a lot of stuff that people are saying, and people that, again, InfoSec is a big community, but it's not that big. So people that are saying certain things. Obviously, there's some things that get said, with race and stuff getting involved, and you start to kind of see people for who they are. You start to hear certain things about, the success of the show is because I'm Black, or because I get support from certain groups or whatever. And all of that really just started to really annoy me and bother me a lot more than usual. I don't know, maybe because I'm starting to I've been going through this, I call it my mid-career crisis or whatever. I don't know, but it was really starting to just irritate the hell out of me. Just seeing some of the things that would get said. And then when I got nominated for the Sands Award, it just got louder. And every time I progressed in that process, so did the nonsense and the BS and the negativity. And then when I got when I got picked as a finalist, it really blew up. I started getting, messages and phone calls from other people who heard certain things, and they were kind of just like genuinely concerned. And it was just like, fam, this isn't paying the bills. Like, again, I do it because I love to do it. I do it because I love to talk, and I love to help people in any way I can do my little part. And if I contributed 5% to someone's elevation, then I did a lot. So, you have people who are doing it because they feel like, they should get the notoriety. And to that point, I know there are some people who probably want me to say names. I'm not going to say the names, and it's not because I'm scared. Like I said, I don't care. I want the smoke. But I won't say the names, because by saying the names, I will give you the attention and the clout that you so desperately desire. And I'm just not going to provide that to you. So you can kick rocks. Sorry. So it took a second for me to, shake that. One of my favorite quotes is from American Gangster, when Denzel Washington's character, his wife, someone tried to take a shot at his wife, and the mobster looked at him and said, your success took a shot at you. You can have you can be successful and have enemies, or you can be unsuccessful and have friends. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. But like I said, just dealing with that and seeing certain things that I was trying to do, and also seeing some people who I really thought were supportive and would have never guessed were that type of person, come to realize that the only reason they were supportive is because somehow it benefited them. And then when it came time for, me to ask for certain things or certain questions, I kind of got shafted, especially with some of the things that I've said privately to them, about what I want to do in the future. It definitely left me disappointed. And honestly, if I'm just being, if I'm gonna keep it real with y'all, like we always do, it's not even so much the loud ones that are the problem. I actually appreciate them. It's the ones who do it behind the scenes and stay quiet. And I felt like a lot of the quiet ones were in some of the same rooms that I was trying to be a part of to move to the next phase of my career. Not at my job. My job has been great. But just with trying to move with that, moving into the teaching and all of that. So it definitely made me take a step back and want to know if it made sense to continue on the path that I was going and whether or not my heart was in it anymore. So it made me take a moment and think about it. And that's where the reevaluation kicks in. And before I get into the reevaluation process, I'm going to take a quick 30-second break just to highlight this week's affiliate spotlight. So just sit tight and we'll be right back with the reevaluation.
Stuck at home? Make the most of the internet with NordVPN. As you're trying out new apps to save you from boredom, NordVPN will make sure that your data is always protected. And you can still travel, well, virtually, by connecting to VPN servers in almost 60 countries. Up for a new gaming challenge? Make sure that cyber threats don't get in your way. Feeling curious? Access the news from all over the world firsthand. Get the app now. NordVPN. Online security starts with a click.
All right, so shout out to NordVPN. I know people cringe when they see it, but I will say they have gotten 100% better since Troy Hunt became a part of them a couple of years ago. So shout out to NordVPN. Take a look at it. It's 59% off for 2 years. And again, when you do click that link, if you do purchase NordVPN and get that discounted rate that we're providing as a part of the show, as a part of being an affiliate, we do get a small commission, which goes back into continuing to build the show. So where was I? Oh, the reevaluation, what I discovered and I guess rediscovered about myself. So before I get into that, I will say, I think everybody should take a moment to take a step back and just reevaluate themselves, whether it's quarterly, biannual, annually. Take a moment and work and work with yourself. You are your best critic, or you can be your worst critic. Realize your strengths and what you need to continue working on. Realize your weaknesses. Think about what you wanted to do when you first set out. Is that still the case? And that's exactly what I did. I took a step back and did some soul searching professionally and personally. And the answer I came up with was yes and no. So the question I asked to myself was, were my goals still the same? Was my why still the same? And like I said, the answer was yes and no at the same time. So for me, the why is always been to help other people, introduce new audiences to tech and cybersecurity. And that hasn't changed. Wanting to help minorities and underserved communities, that's still the same. But the how I wanted to achieve that why changed. Again, dealing with reevaluating the good and the bad and the ugly. It made me realize that I was, even though I'm here every week, even though I'm here every week telling everybody, always bet on yourself and, push yourself forward and try to be as independent as possible. I started to realize that maybe I needed to be a little bit more independent myself. I got to a place where, again, I started to get comfortable with certain groups of people. And, it was kind of like hey, can you help us out over here with this? And in return, we'll help you out with some other stuff. And, I kind of relied on it. I almost banked on it. And then when it didn't happen, it was kind of like I was stuck and I was lost, because it was like, okay, well, what do I do now? I don't know if he's still in the chat, but BSD Bandit, we've had several conversations, and shout out to him. Like I said, me, I believe in giving the flowers to people when they can still smell them. Just our conversations. Sometimes the conversations literally just be about nothing. It'd be about video games and stuff. We'll be in a Discord server somewhere just talking randomly. And a couple people join in, and we've had talks where it was like, I think me, him, I think McKenna, Kalila was there, Sadie, Ty, a bunch of us is just kind of just chopping it up. And that to me really reaffirmed some things that I was already feeling. I think I said that right. I don't know, man. It's crazy. It's like I'm like out of practice, but it's definitely, like I said, it's definitely just kind of been eye-opening during this experience. And during that experience, I came up with 3 realizations. So the first realization is I'm over InfoSec. I'm over it. Bye. No, I'm joking. No, I'm over InfoSec. I'm over the community or the business side of InfoSec. If you truly want to do something, you have to stand out. And, trying to do things within the same community or the same 4 walls that have been, for the most part, trying to keep other people down for the majority of how long, it's been a thing. It's almost like the definition of insanity, right? Trying to do the same thing over and over again and praying for a different outcome. So I'm going back to the roots. I'm going back to that lone wolf mentality, but this time I'm a lot smarter. I'm a lot older, and I'm a lot wiser than when I got started. I'm not going to go into it alone. I'm going into it with a group of like-minded people that I know beyond cybersecurity, beyond what they've accomplished in the business. I've got to know them as, people. And again, nothing crazy. Is just, having these connections with these people where I can just pick their brains, similar to like what we do in Discord. We just chat sometimes, ask questions, like just pick each other's brains, but you do it in a smaller community than what you get on Twitter, right? We all know Twitter is a cesspool, and as Mr. Musk took over Twitter, I started taking less of a presence, making less of a presence over there, and focusing more on just smaller chat groups, smaller communities, a Discord server of like 30 people. And I've just kind of worked with them because they all have goals in mind, and they're all ambitious. And, my goal may be different from someone else's goal, but it keeps everyone motivated. And there's no nonsense. There's no negativity. Yes, we, might talk shit here and there, but it's all in fun. So, yeah, I'm over InfoSec. That's pretty much the first realization. Charles said it best one day. We were talking, and when I think when I came up with the realization that I said, yeah, I think I'm over it. And a bunch of us were talking, and they were like, so you're not going to be a hacker anymore? And Charles made a point that says, no, remember, hacker and InfoSec are two different things. I'll always be a hacker. I love being a hacker. I love talking about hacking. I love teaching hacking. I really love teaching and talking about hacking. And I love helping other people get into the field and now teach them the right way to navigate it. I'm just, like I said, I'm just done with the politics and the BS of the business. Recently, I moderated a panel on the state of cybersecurity, cybersecurity careers for Black professionals. And I mentioned there that over the last few years, the community has improved. The cybersecurity InfoSec community has improved, but we still have a long way to go, a long way. And I meant that. And I will continue to be a part to help build the better side of the community. I'm just not gonna, just not gonna do the song and dance and shuck and jive for people anymore. So, guess we should move on. So the second realization that I came up with, there's a saying, it's credited to Thomas Jefferson, but I heard it from Les Brown, and I'm going to continue to give Les Brown the credit because Thomas Jefferson was a massive slave owner. So, but there's a saying that says, if you want something you've never had, you must be willing to do something you've never done. And for me, one of the things that I forgot to mention during my 2022 highlights was towards the end of the year, I took my kids to a DreamHack conference down in Atlanta. DreamHack is a tech and esports and gaming conference that they do every year. They have it all over the country, and Atlanta is one of the big ones. And I went down there, and it was a great conference, first and foremost. But it definitely, when I look back on this, maybe 5-10 years from now, I'll probably say that was definitely a life-changing day for me. For me, it was the start of something big. It can, whether it's big in a good way or a bad way, we're going to find out, knock on wood. I hope it's good, but it's going to lead to another story. So story time. Before the pandemic, my son was a part of an esports league in the North Georgia area, and they met every week, and they played Fortnite, and they competed, and they talked over strategies and stuff like that. And as a matter of fact, that's where the inspiration of my talk, Hacking and Gaming, came up, because I was sitting at one of their practices, and the coach who was going over the strategy session was talking. And as they were talking, I'm literally going, wait, this is the the information gathering phase. This is the scanning and vulnerability phase. And that's what led to that talk. And to date, that is still one of my most popular talks I've ever given, just from the parental side of things. Right. I've had CISOs and chief technology officers of companies come to me and say, I've been trying to get my kid in tech for to get my kid interested in tech for the last, I don't know how many years. And, they listen to your talk, and now they're asking questions about penetration testing and stuff like that. And, so thank you. And from the parental side, it got the kids who were into gaming interested into, well, I didn't know that we already had these skills. Let's go look at it. And to me, that was like a light bulb moment where I was like, man, if you think about it, a lot of us who got into tech, probably our first piece of tech was video games, or some of us had computers. Mine was video games. Um, and it was just like, okay, I need to find a way to bring this all together. And unfortunately, shortly after that, we know what happened with the pandemic and everything got locked down. And unfortunately, that esports league got shut down. They tried to do it remotely, but it just didn't have the same effect. And then, running into some of the parents and talking to them, you start to hear conversations about their kids getting depressed, and how that group of kids that was their friends, right? They went to different schools. Some of them were in different school districts, but these were the people that they connected with the most. These are the people that they resonated with, that they felt like they could be themselves unapologetically and authentically. And it was sad to kind of see these young kids kind of go through that at such a young age, because we all have heartbreaks, but to see them really heartbroken that they lost their friends, it bothered me. It made me think of my son, and stuff. So, and then it made me think of back in the day when we had arcades and stuff to go to, right? So I might be showing my age, but I remember when FYE had a music side and an arcade side. And I would, even though I had the video games at home, I would practice every week and go and play the game and put my quarter on the machine and be the next man or next person to play. And you actually developed a community, you developed friends. And yeah, we didn't have cell phones and social media, but it was like, hey, you're going to be back here next week? Yep, I'll be back next week. All right, cool. Well, give me your house phone number. Right. But it definitely brought that sense of community. And I was like, man, I think that's something that's really missing in the community these days. So, I've been sitting on that, honestly, since the pandemic. And this fateful day at DreamHack, we're walking around and I run into the organizer of the esports program. And he, as we get to talking, I start telling him about, what I've heard from other parents and my ideas and what I would hope to do, or what I would hope to see one day. And I asked him, I'm like, are you bringing it back? He was like, no, it's never coming back. The other person left and all this other stuff happened, and we just don't have the bandwidth for it. And I'm like, man, that sucks. I'm like, literally now I'm getting like passionate, the speaking up for these kids and these other parents. And he just looked at me and was like, so why don't you do it? And again, this is during my process of figuring out what I'm doing and how am I going to make this happen, and having the bandwidth and everything. But it made me go back and, oh, my dog is here. It made me go back and talk to my wife. And again, her being the constant support in my life, just basically was like, so why don't you do it? And it led me to really have some thoughts about it. And one of the things that I always say is, be the change you want to see. So with that being said, I guess I should go to revelation number 3. And my dog just left. But yes, if you didn't see that, I am opening an esports and technology center. It should open up this summer. It's a little too quiet and uncomfortable for me, so I'm gonna, because yes, I am opening an esports and technology center in my neighborhood. I am absolutely terrified but at the same time, I am excited because it's just like I said before, to be something you've never have, you have to be willing to do something you've never done, and you also have to be the change that you want to see. And I feel like this will be something for the kids. This will be something for the community. This will be my way of introducing that tech element to it. But it's not just that. It's also puts me back to things that I'm passionate about with gaming and technology all at once. It's going to be a place for adults to get away. Like, I'm going to have nights for adults to come and just game and play. One of the things that I learned over time here is, the pandemic did allow a lot of us to work from home, but it also made it difficult to separate that work-life balance, right? My main sitting area is my office. So there are times where I have my controller. I have a controller right here, and I can't even get to the game because I noticed that there's something else going on and I have to end up working. So now it gives you the opportunity to actually get your ass out of a seat and get out of the house, get some fresh air. And then, like I said, you go to a tech center, and again, you don't have to touch the keyboard, but you can go hang out, right? It can be an arcade for old folks. Yes, we're old. That's the next revelation that I just didn't add, but yeah. But yes, but what I'm gonna do differently with this esports center is teach the whole business. We're not just talking about gaming. We're going to talk about the stuff behind the scenes. We're going to talk about the streaming. We're going to talk about the shoutcasting. We're going to talk about the opportunities that come with it. We're going to build communication skills into the curriculum. They're going to have strategy sessions where they're going to have to write it out and talk about it and stuff. We want it to be something that's going to be all encompassing. And yes, doing something that you enjoy doing. So if you are in the Georgia area, stay tuned with the date when we give the date, because we will have a grand opening. It's going to be open in the summer. I'm working on figuring out some course curriculum and partnerships and things that we can do that way. Or if I have to just figure it out and sit down and do it myself, then we're going to do that as well. My wife just said that cakes and desserts will be served at the grand opening, so she's going to be doing that. But like I said, I really wanted it to be a place where it can just kind of be a hub of all things gaming and technology, and then promoting community, promoting accountability, teaching sportsmanship and things, non-toxic behavior to the youth, offering tech classes. So whether it's just basic Python or stuff like that, and just provide the community a place to get out of the house and just hang out with other like-minded people of all ages. So like I said, we had arcades, we don't have there aren't too many arcade cabinets like that anymore, but we'll have PCs there. We'll have video game systems. We'll have NBA 2K and Smash Brothers and Street Fighter. We'll have those tournaments. We'll have parties and group gatherings. We'll have, obviously professional development days or stuff like that for companies who want to just get out and game. And we're going to do it on our terms. I think that's the most important part, is that I'm not asking for permission this time. I'm not asking for that. I'm not asking for the support that doesn't come. I'm going to leave it to the community. I'm going to leave it to you all. I'm going to leave it to the family and friends. And like I said, if it's successful, then we win. If not, then at least I tried. So again, the name of that will be called Alpha Esports and Technology. And we're going to focus on play, learn, and elevate. That's what we're going to do. So be the change you want to see. I think, oh no, I didn't cover everything just yet. If you want to stay tuned with what we're doing with the development, I'm also creating content on that whole process. And there is a third YouTube. Yeah, I had to stop. There's a third YouTube channel that I'm going to ask you to follow. So if you haven't followed us here at Alpha Cybersecurity, please do so. And then remember to go follow and subscribe to the new InfoSec Unplugged channel. That's going to have all the repurposed content over there. And then go follow Alpha Esports Tech, also on YouTube. We also have an Instagram page, Twitter. I don't think we're on LinkedIn yet, and Facebook, but everything is Alpha Esports Tech. So just search for that, and please give us a follow, subscribe to the channel. Like I said, we're going to start pumping out some content real soon, just kind of going over the process. I haven't come up with a name for that yet, but like I said, it's not going to be a live stream. It's just literally just probably going to be, me talking about what I did this week or whatever. So be sure to check that out. If you would like to, I always get uncomfortable with this, but if you would like to help, with what we're doing here with InfoSec Unplugged or Alpha Cybersecurity, or now with Alpha Esports and Technology, you can always support me on Buy Me a Coffee. It's $5. Like I said, I'm probably going to need a lot of coffee because it's probably going to be a lot of sleepless nights getting stuff up. But more importantly, we're going to get things like the gaming PCs and the right internet connections and stuff in there. I want to eventually build out a content creation studio for my content creators who do more than just game. They, our TikTok generation, our podcasters. I want to have a studio there for them where they can come and rent it out and create their content there as well. So if you want to support me there, you can go to Buy Me a Coffee. You can also support the channel. You can do super chats, super thanks. I don't know. Like I said, it's been 9 months. Just forgive me. I'm getting back into the swing of things. But yeah, like I said, anything you can do is super appreciated. And we're going to make this happen. Like I said, right now, I'm going to announce we're going to do it in a remote state. We're going to do it in a remote location in the next month or so. And then while we're doing that, we're going to go get the center ready. And then, like I said, by summer, it should be ready to go. So that's what I've been doing for the last 9 months. I think I covered everything. But if I didn't cover everything, it doesn't really matter because once again, I'm back and I don't plan on going anywhere this time. Hopefully with the new mindset and the new mentality, we're going to take this and move forward. And like I said, I'm back with InfoSec Unplugged full time. I'm not split hosting anywhere. For the foreseeable future. I will be teaching courses. If you haven't done so, go check out the course, Learning the OWASP API Security Top 10 over at LinkedIn. That is my where I feel like the next phase of the tech side of my career is going. So please go support that. It's a 40-minute course. I put the link in there. It's free. So, you really have no excuses if you're interested in API security, which, by the way, you should be because APIs are really dangerous when not secured properly. But I will be back next week, and it's not going to be me. So I've been talking y'all heads off now for about 55 minutes. I know you're probably tired of it, but next week we will have guests. I will announce who they are Monday. I already have a lineup for like the next couple months, but I'm going to leave y'all in suspense. So, I need to get some more sound effects. But ladies and gentlemen, everybody watching, this has been another episode of InfoSec Unplugged. I have been your host, Davin Jackson. Thank you for rocking out with me. Not just today, but for this entire journey. Seriously. I remember when it was literally just me talking to no one. And then there were days where I talked to 100 people. There are days where I talk to 3. I don't care. I just appreciate the love and support from everybody. So let's just keep that rocking. And I will see y'all next week. Take it easy. I got to get back into the swing. This. Oh, man. I love y'all. Take care.